because of the willingness to comply to the source within me, whether you call it God, angel, source, universe, creator, it's enabled me to go on this journey that a lot of people aren't living. And my mind never would have chosen this life for me. And I think a lot of the time we're so conditioned by we need the money, we need the nice houses, we need the nice things. And I'm not saying you don't get to have them, but what I'm saying is that they are a shadow of internal wealth. And if we have external wealth, but not internal wealth, we have material wealth, but internal poverty. And we're never going to be fully able to be happy because it doesn't matter if you're standing on the private yacht. If you have internal poverty, it's always going to be like, I've got to get back to the office. This isn't enough. Oh, there's only three bathrooms when there should be five bathrooms. Like we're always going to be in this like more like want more and more. Like we're just always trying to taste the essence instead of being like, this moment is so sweet. And you
Hello, my loves, and welcome to Create Your Life. My name is Simone Leah, and I am your host. And I am so excited to be here with you guys today because today I had the absolute pleasure of interviewing Eva Kaszycki, who is a phenomenal wealth coach for leaders. She is the creator of the Elite Energy Hub. And today we talk all things energy, frequency, vibration, and the frequency of wealth. Now, I know Eva because I had been following her online for a while, and I actually got the opportunity last year to go to Bali and attend one of her retreats. And I have to say that she has one of the most potent energies and vibrations that I've ever been around. And even when you just talk to her or see her on an interview, you can see that she's just so light. She's worked through so much stuff energetically. She's such a light being, and it's such a blessing to be around her and in her frequency and be activated by her. And that's one of the big things is just listening to an interview with her or just going to one of her retreats or just working with her, something's going to shift. Every time you're in her field, something will shift. She's that solid and potent and aligned with who she is that it just calls you forward without you actually even meaning for it to. So this interview was phenomenal. We literally talk all things energy, frequency, cleaning your energy field, the frequency of wealth, the law of attraction, contrast. There are so many nuggets in here that Eva drops that if you were to sit here and write notes, you could literally spend 2 or 3 weeks going back and looking into some of the things she talks about and integrating some of those lessons and teachings that she shares. So this interview is so powerful, and I am so grateful and I feel so blessed to have been able to bring it to you. So I hope you enjoy it. Hello, my loves, and welcome to Create Your Life. My name is Simone Leah, and I am your host. And I am so excited to be here today because today I have the absolute pleasure of bringing you guys Eva Kaszycki, who is like a wealth leader, frequency mentor, like amazing human being, just so all over everything to do with energy, vibration, and frequency. And I was like, you guys have to listen to her. She's amazing. So, welcome, Ever. It's so nice to have you here.
Oh, thank you. That was such a beautiful introduction, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy for whatever unfolds in our conversation.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Little bit of backstory for the audience. I actually met Eva because I went to one of her retreats in Bali. We were just saying less than 18 months ago. And she just literally, like, just being around her, she's that potent that it just like transforms everything. And you're just like catapulted into this new frequency and world. So she's a phenomenal human. And I'm literally so excited for you guys, even just to be able to experience her and her wisdom and all for yourself and her vibration. So, what does creating a life you love mean to you?
Mm, I love this question because it can be as simple as you want, or there can be so many layers. I think the simple answer is creating a life you love is just a life where you don't need to escape the present moment. Like every moment is so beautiful and so magical that you're just happy to be here and you remember that this moment is the destination. And it can be one of the hardest things to come to terms with, but it's carefully navigating every moment like you're building this beautiful tapestry and really truly enjoying the simple, the mundane, the little bits and bobs. Like when I'm stuck in Bali traffic, I'm just like, this is so beautiful. I've created this life. Like I'm free and I'm learning patience at the same time. So
I literally love that. Like, absolutely love that. And I think what you were saying about just enjoying the current moments, I think I was writing a post the other day just saying, like, the past literally doesn't exist. Like it's not
mm,
there. It's a memory. It's like a movie. And the future, it hasn't happened yet. And we have the ability to create it, but it's the moments that we're in that are the moment. So I literally love that that's your answer is like creating a life is actually being able to be present in those moments, whether they're teaching you patience in the traffic or whether they're something else. So I love that. Thank you. Now,
mm.
today we're diving into the topic of the frequency of wealth, which I absolutely love. So, let's start with potentially how did you get here? Because I know for you, you used to live in Australia, you had the traditional life, and now you live in Bali with this beautiful, expansive life, this beautiful, expansive energy. I don't know if you guys follow ever on social media yet, but you have to. Every post she writes is just like, oh, it's just so wise. So how did you get here?
A crazy, crazy question. And I mean, again, the things, the answers that are channeling through, I'm like, there's just so many layers. There's like, there's past life layers, but for this lifetime, let's keep it simple. I just kept following the voice that made no sense. So when I was 15 was sort of the first time I followed the call. My soul was like, you need to leave this home. You need to get out. You need to go and live with your boyfriend at the time. So at the age of 15, I left everything. I had my first massive death. I didn't realize it until years later and, left all my trophies, all my photos, all my things in the past. And it's so crazy because I think like I have no childhood photos of me. Like my life, like every time I went through this big rebirth, it was like all the material possessions were just gone. They were erased. And it really was like this life, like a video game where that chapter was done, the next one came online. And I did this many times. I did this right before I moved to Bali, where I built the life with the beautiful, multi-million dollar home, the six-figure car, all the nice things. And I just felt my soul being like, let's burn this life to the ground. Like, it's time to leave. We need to get rid of all of this. And then we need to go to Bali. And then I started fresh again, divorced, three kids, living this life where I'm navigating the unknown. And because of the willingness to comply to the source within me, whether you call it God, angel, source, universe, creator, it's enabled me to go on this journey that a lot of people aren't living. And my mind never would have chosen this life for me. And I think a lot of the time we're so conditioned by we need the money, we need the nice houses, we need the nice things. And I'm not saying you don't get to have them, but what I'm saying is that they are a shadow of internal wealth. And if we have external wealth but not internal wealth, we have material wealth but internal poverty, and we're never going to be fully able to be happy because it doesn't matter if you're standing on the private yacht. If you have internal poverty, it's always going to be like, I've got to get back to the office. This isn't enough. Oh, there's only three bathrooms when there should be five bathrooms. Like, we're always going to be in this, like, more, like, well, more and more. Like, we're just always trying to taste the essence instead of being like, this moment is so sweet. And you don't get to taste how beautiful life truly is until the creator takes everything away from you, and you have to be okay in those moments. And while I try not to create a paradigm because everyone's living different lives, I don't want people to think you've got to lose everything to gain everything. But energetically, we need space. And so this quote can be interesting and triggering, but I always say use discernment. A lot of people say that your old life will cost you your new life. And I do believe that. I believe that you have to be willing to say goodbye to these friends, this life, this country, and do what you've done as well. Like take the risk to go to different countries. And it's not easy. It's not easy being in a different Airbnb every week or in a different hotel because your subconscious mind is constantly in unfamiliar territory. So your nervous system's freaking out. And I think it is like nervous system gym, where you're like really stretching your capacity and being like, this is safe, this is okay, it is allowed to get this good. And, a lot of the times you'll be like, what the hell am I doing? Am I crazy? And it's like you just keep following the invisible call because creating life is creating something that's never existed before. And true creation comes from trusting in the unknown when you can't see it and you're believing in it every single day because it feels so real in your blood and your heart and your bones, but there's no proof. And sometimes you think you're crazy, but I think that is how I've gotten to here because I have this peace within me that won't give up no matter what. And I've seen so much darkness that I'm just like, take it all away from me. I will be okay because I know I was put on this planet. So yeah, it's been a very, very interesting journey. It hasn't been easy. Um, but I really believe I live heaven on earth now because I lived hell on earth and I get to taste the polarity of that. And when you've walked through hell on earth, you get to understand heaven on earth. It's like the day and the night. And again, not to say you have to walk through hell because I don't want you to be programmed with that, but how do you know if something is sweet unless you've tasted something that's sour? You never get the polarity of it. And so pain is such a beautiful teacher. It's such a beautiful gift so that you can really lean into the nectar and the beauty of this world.
Love all of that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so many things we could talk for like 5 hours. I'm like, which topic to pick? Yeah, because like obviously we want to talk about the frequency of wealth, but also there's so much to do with energy that, okay, yes, kind of how you do one thing is going to be how you do everything. But even just like that, the whole thing of having to start again and having that trust, that's not necessarily related to wealth, but it is as well at the same time because everything's connected. When you were saying how not necessarily wanting to have all the things and not necessarily wanting the material things, but then how do you build that wealth if you don't want that wealth? Even that as a kind of a little bit of a contrast there. And how do you clean up your vibration? So for example, if you're looking at even the law of attraction, someone says, you get out there what you put in. And if you're about to burn your life down, are you going to attract more of burning your life down, or are you going to be able to create the new thing? How does energy and frequency relate to getting to your next level with all of these different layers?
Mm, such a beautiful question. And again, there's so many layers to this. So I'll try to keep it simple and clean. I think one of the biggest issues in the human condition is that we think that we have to be a certain way and have a certain level of success to be successful. And when we look at any successful person, they already embodied it before the material reality manifests it. So they could be going through bankruptcy, divorce, hell, as the human mind would like to label it as. But internally, they feel like they're already a millionaire. Internally, they feel like they already have that wealth. And as a soul having a human experience, I think one of the biggest things that we forget is that we are not the material world. We are broadcasting the material world. The material world's 99.99999% empty space. So if you close your eyes right now and believe that you're a millionaire, you're already a millionaire. But society will condition you and say that you're not a millionaire until you see it physically in the 3D reality, until you really see it and taste it. And a lot of people can't hold the frequency of it before they see it in the material world because they think that the material world has more power than them, the person that's created it. So what's actually happening is that we're losing our power as old souls because we are choosing that, oh, it's not here yet, so I'm not it. instead of understanding that the entire reality, and this is based on the teachings of Neville Goddard, the entire reality is you pushed out. And so it's a dance because I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, and then everything falls away, and you're like, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, and you feel crazy because you're like, well, nothing's manifesting. But the seeds have to grow roots to harvest. And most people like to destroy the harvest before it comes to fruition because they're like, this isn't working, this isn't working. And it is like the bamboo tree. And a lot of old souls that are listening to this, you were not put on this earth to have quick wins. A lot of people that, and there's a really, really, really beautiful book by Neville Goddard. I forget the name. It may be on Spotify, and it is just like the teachings of Neville Goddard and talking about this anointment for old souls and how we are on a journey where we get refined, where we get tested, where we get pushed down, where we are like refinement, 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 refinement until you can be completely detoxed or deconditioned of the physical world of needing something to prove your worth. Another incredible teacher is Wayne Dyer, who speaks of the notion of when I stopped chasing money, it all came. When I was just happy with this present moment, everything happened. And by giving the material world more power than our internal world, we delay the process because we are constantly seeking for something outside of ourselves. And you can do that. You can create that life. And I feel God, angel, source, universe usually lets you create that life so you know what it feels like. You know that it feels empty. And then it's like, okay, cool, you've done it from the ego. Can you come back and do it from the soul? Can you come back and work with the physical body? And a lot of us, we're not treating the body like the $1 million goddess that it is. We're not using food as medicine. We're not doing our somatic release. We're not keeping our frequency clean because that's the work. The more that we can, and I'll preface this because if I was listening to what I was saying 10 years ago, I would have wanted to slap me in the face. I would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? I want my millions of dollars. I want all this shit working out. I want my mansion. The truth is that if you desire it, it's already done. It's already here. The mansion, the money, the dream partner, like it's already done, or you would never desire it. It's yours, or that you wouldn't be tuning into that frequency. But the journey to allowing it to come into your reality in a material way is by truly accepting that you are the most powerful person in your reality, that you are potent, that you already have it. And it is such a mind fuck. And that's why we don't like to work with the mind because it's like, we'll work with the body. You desire the money because it gives you a feeling. So let's feel that every day in our body because that's actually what you want. You don't want the money. And so when we can get back to this place of being whole and feeling abundant and feeling rich and remembering that it's already here, it becomes really, really, really beautiful and effortless. But this is an art, and we're not taught this because they don't want you to learn the art of feeling whole. They don't want you to learn the art of enjoying life every single day. It's like all we're doing as old souls, as star seeds, as light workers is reminding people, like Abraham Hicks, enjoy the fucking journey. Oh, but I couldn't. I don't have everything I want. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Have fun. And it is an art because you're stuck in traffic and you're just like, thank you for teaching me patience. Someone's rude to you. Thank you for teaching me boundaries. Like it's just this constant journey of enjoy because it's all you. It's like you get to be living a life of you every single day. And when you fully tap into all that you are, true wholeness, then you're living out wealth consciousness because wealth means well-being.
I love that. This is just like, already I'm like, I so want to go into this. One thing I do want to just quickly touch on though is can you embody that frequency of wealth consciousness, say, or like well being and moving forward, law of attraction style, say 98% of the time? In that 2% of the time that something's going on, I know that Esther Hicks, she would say, don't think about the thing that's not working. But when you
Mm.
talk to a lot of nervous system regulation coaches these days, they're like, no, you need to feel what you're going through and let it go and then move on. So I'd love to also know what your opinion is when there is that life contrast. Like, I don't mean, obviously, you're not going to sit in it for 5 years and then be like, my manifestations aren't happening. But in the everyday moments, are you allowing yourself to feel that little bit of contrast? Let it into the body, be like, okay, I see you, I feel you, and now I let you go? Or are you just changing the channel straight away?
I love this question. This is so powerful. And, again, 10 years ago, I probably would have said Abraham Hicks was right. I don't agree with the notion of avoiding it because how I see it is your body is the vessel to hold this reality. So a lot of the somatic work I do through channeling a frequency called Kundalini, Life Force, Prana, Chi is keeping your body clean, and we're doing a lot of somatic release. And this is so interesting, there's a lot coming through here. So your body is the vessel. As clean as your body is, it will be able to hold the wealth. What a lot of people do is that they never get still enough to feel the feelings. So we're always on our phones, we're always drinking alcohol, we're always having sex, we're doing all these things that get the mind to not feel into the body. So our energy is naturally yang energy. So it's going up, it's thinking, and then out doing. So most of the planet is going thinking and doing, thinking and doing, thinking and doing, instead of the yin energy, which is feeling and being, feeling and being. We live in an epidemic of women that are like superhuman. I've got to be like this superwoman. And it's throwing out our hormonal balance. Most of us never stop to look at our bodies, the vessel that can hold everything. If you are carrying excess weight, if you've got pelvic pain because of your root chakra, there's so many things in the body that relate to the physical reality. And so Abraham Hicks, I feel, is speaking more to the mind, whereas you can have the best mindset in the world. And I say use discernment, play with this, see how this lands for you. You can have the best mindset in the world, but if your body is storing grief in your pelvis from when you were molested as a child or from um, grief of being rejected at the school camp. And I've learnt many times where I'm deep in this calm meditation. I'm really at peace. I feel like I'm on cloud nine, and I'll be doing my like somatic release and my embodied presence, and then I start howling and screaming. And I'm like, whoa, I can't believe that was still in there. And we can't get to these deeper layers of the physical body unless we're at peace. And so we've got to be able to detox our field in the sense of, and I don't want you to think you have to be a good girl or do these things, but for me on my journey, I've found that the cleaner my field is, the cleaner I keep my energy, the more I can feel the things that are the energetic imprints for the next level. I don't need to think about, oh, well, I believe this and I believe that, and money doesn't grow on because that's stuck in the head and we're just staying in loops here. But when we give ourselves permission to do somatic release, to really go deep and let the body purge. If you need to cry, cry. Crying, I see as releasing codes and rewriting codes and moving your body. And we're not moving our body enough every day. Your body, if you just stand on all fours, do like a cat cow and play some music and just let your body, like, start moving and jiving, that is going to remove money blocks from your field faster than thinking, like overthinking all of the, I need to change my beliefs, I need to do this. If you're at the first very, very, very early stages of awakening, I think that can be beneficial. But I feel like once you've done it for a while, it just gets to the point where you're locking in that reality because you keep thinking about it and you're speaking about it, and then you're stuck in a loop of thinking and speaking and thinking and speaking, and words cast spells. That's why they call it spelling. So for me personally, I would say that you need to feel, because that's what we came here to do as old souls. We came here to feel what no one in our bloodline has ever felt. And the feeling is what clears up space in your energetic container, which is your physical body, to receive more wealth. So that is what I would say about that. And I think there can be, I don't like using language like bypassing because I don't want to make anyone wrong, but I think sometimes when we try to be good and we're trying to tap into these high frequencies. You can't tap into high frequencies when you've got anchors of grief, of anger, of all these things. And at every new level, like it's a bit like moving house. You move into a new timeline. You've got all the boxes out, and you're like, oh shit, there's another rat-infested cupboard I never ever saw because something happened in a past life or something happened here. And so every single day, feeling your body, taking time to go inward and dance and just stop thinking and just really give yourself permission to stretch and feel is how you get to expand your wealth capacity, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. If someone was wanting to expand their wealth capacity and just expand their frequency in general, where would you even recommend they start? Because we've talked about, like, there's obviously energy work, there's obviously somatics, but you're also mentioning past lives, and there's probably also generational stuff in there. Like, how would someone even know where the starting place is if they were like, I can feel this new life coming in, I want to get to this level? How do I go about making that happen? And also,
Mm,
obviously, a lot of people don't know what Kundalini energy is either. So that's a whole nother thing there's just so many things.
yeah. Yeah, and there's so many layers, and what I would say is the best place to start is remembering that your body is the best teacher. You already have all of the answers within you. If you're listening to this conversation, you feel called to my energy or Simone's energy, then you reach out because you follow the call, you follow the guidance. I don't believe that there's ever a coincidence that you would listen to an episode like this without feeling called. When you're not in your head, if you're like, I've got to do a million things a day, but when you start to listen to your body, you always have the answers. And so, where I would start is taking time to shift your energy to inwards. So, feeling and being, inwards and downwards, feeling and being. What can you do every day to feel and be? There's this really, really cool practice in the morning by this lady called Bonnie Bliss called meditation. And it's like you wake up in the morning and you just feel your body and you just play with yourself and just feel, like, run your hands through your hair and your face and your neck and feel your body, noticing if there's any tension. Breathe air and energy into those parts of your body that feel stuck, because you don't need to think about it. You don't need to go, oh, well, that was from my past life or blah, 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 blah. It's just like feel the tension, breathe into the area, because when you breathe into pain or tension, it increases the metabolic rate in the area. And then you're creating more space in your vessel, your home, your temple to receive more wealth that day. And then you set intention, or a sankalpa, a yogic word for intention, which allows you to just be present. And it can be something like, call in a client for blah, 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 or do this or do that. And then you're moving throughout your day by checking in with how you're feeling. Don't abandon your body. Most people abandon their bodies every single day. It's like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't feel like doing that, but I'm going to do it anyway. And so you have all the answers within you. What you desire desires you as much as you desire it. It's the law of cause and effect. It's coming. But the journey is you cleaning out your vessel so that you can receive it in the most beautiful way and not judging yourself. So, yes, there's a lot of work. If you've heard about somatic release, or this is the first time you've heard about it, just start to do your research. Notice what it is. Somatic release can just be yoga, and you can be like, well, my body is the movement, and this is prayer for me. And you just really move your body and be the essence. And it's about us rewriting the code to feel more. The more you feel, the more you attract. And it's not about, I feel like the spiritual community has been a little bit conditioned with, I just have to feel good. I just have to feel good. You just have to remember that what you desire is already within you. So you just feel it every day. Set the intention for, I desire to feel pleasure. Then everything in your business that brings you pleasure will come. All the clients that bring you pleasure will come. All the things will bring you pleasure to come. And then you say, God, angel, source, universe, put me on the paths of the people that need me, and go and enjoy your life.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, love it, love it, love it. If you are someone who is in that kind of I guess we'll call it the hustle culture because that's what people are calling it a lot, and they're doing and doing and doing, and they actually do want to get into this frequency that you're talking about where you're just being, feeling and being, feeling and being, feeling and being. How can they actually take that step to become that? Because their mind is going to be going, I need a hustle to make money, I need a hustle to make money, but at the same time, and they're like, I can't slow down because I need to make money, but at the same time, to embody that frequency requires you to take the time to feel and be and feel and be. So, what would you say to someone who is trying to move through to that level?
So there's a really good book I read years and years and years ago, and I actually had this woman on my podcast, my Old Ladies Up podcast. Her name was Kate Northrup, and she wrote a book called Do Less. And I remember being at the airport with my ex-husband, and my shoulders were so tight, I couldn't breathe. My chest was so tight, and I was the opposite of how I am now. I would never turn up on an interview just on a couch like this. Like I would have been full corporate vibes, ready to slay the day. I was killing myself through the hustle. So I fully get this. So what I will say is that it is a journey, but I'm also going to sell this to you because you'll go, well, how? Because it took me years and I was so stuck in my mind, so much trauma, and I couldn't understand why I would stop hustling because all the best leaders are out there telling you to hustle. They're all telling you to push really, really hard or you can't get what you desire. There's a different way of living. And there's two people. There's like Elon Musk, where you can hustle and kill yourself, or there's the Surrender Experiment by Michael A. Singer, which is a beautiful book. And when you're living in alignment with truth, with source, with purity, you don't need to hustle because everything that you were meant to do, everything that was destined to you will come through the call of the creator, of the divine. And you can live on this path where you're not getting terminal illnesses, disease, dis-ease, being out of alignment. I call it like the highest timeline or the shadow path. And don't shame yourself if you want to go down the shadow path, if you want to hustle, if you want to get burnt out. The issue with hustling, especially for women, is that it messes up all of your hormones. It causes adrenal fatigue. It causes burnout. It causes diseases. When you go through phases like menopause, perimenopause, it causes irregular periods. It causes a lot of things in the physical body that are not natural. And we live in a society where we think PMS is normal. It's not. It's your body saying you need help, like your hormones are out of balance. Alert, alert, alert. When we truly live one with nature in sync, the trees are not hustling, they're just growing tall. Every trees are not getting anxiety, birds are not, getting anxiety. Everything's living in its natural rhythm. Hustle goes against our natural rhythm because when we look at being connected to the earth, there is summer, autumn, winter, spring. Every single year there is a winter. There is a spring, there is an autumn. And what's happening, especially as women, we have a 28-day cycle. And so us not living in alignment with our cycle, the period is the winter. It's when the veil is the thinnest between heaven and earth. If you want phenomenal business downloads, stop working on your period and rest. You will get downloads that will help you quantum leap faster than you could ever possibly imagine, but we're conditioned to hustle. So hustling keeps you stuck in the matrix. It keeps you stuck in conditioning. It keeps you stuck in the loop of, and you will always be like the rat that just never gets off the treadmill. And I tried it out. Most women have tried it out. I'm not forcing you to shift, but if you know that it's meant to be easier, then I invite you to just stop. I'm going to be really, really honest. Every woman, it's very, very different. For me, leaving the hustle to come into this frequency was very challenging. It took me like a year of crying, of rest, of really just being like, this is insane. Um, it was detoxing everything where I needed to perform, where I needed to turn up, where I needed to be someone I wasn't. And it was a huge detox for me. It was really uncomfortable. I had to be like, it's okay for me just to be me and know that my field is enough to be paid to exist. There is nothing I can do in this physical world that will get me more money than my choices, than who I'm embodying, than who I'm being. You get paid because of your embodiment, not because of what you're doing. So for me, looking at it, it's just a trap that keeps you stuck in this endless loop. And people always tell you to work hard. What I would say to working hard is work hard on yourself. keep your energy clean, work hard. If you're going to pour any money into you, pour it into yourself because you always get that back. You are the best investment you will ever have. Eat so clean, love yourself, meditate. That's the work. That's the hustle. It's like the spiritual hustle. Cry out the things that make you sad. Be the embodiment of the light. Do the inner work. That's the only part of your life that you need to. And I wouldn't even say hustle. It's just being connected to who you are.
Love all of this, like literally just like ah. And I love as well like that you mentioned that it is a process, and like for you it was like a year of going through this releasing process, because I think a lot of people think, all right, cool, I'm going to make the decision and then tomorrow I'm a new human, and it doesn't necessarily work out that way. So I literally love that you shared that as well. If someone was starting to or wanting to start to embody that different frequency of wealth, are there things that they can do daily? Like, would you recommend doing things like meditation and energy clearing and sound baths? And would you recommend doing everything every day, or would you recommend starting off slow? Or what do you think is the way forward there?
It depends who you are and what brings you joy. I think I love this quote, and it's like always take the middle path. So you don't want to take the path that's too hard or your nervous system will bounce back. You don't want to take the path that doesn't stretch you or you'll never move. You want to take the middle path that challenges you a little bit, but it still feels safe enough for you to move into that path. And if you're somebody that's like really, 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 really ambitious and you're doing all the things, and I was, so my healing was like Megatron warrior, like moving through all of the stuff, and it served me. And I think there's a big piece to understanding that every part of this journey is a season, and every season serves you, and it's not making any of the seasons wrong. It's not making winter wrong. It's not making summer wrong. It's not making any of it wrong. It's loving it. And whilst I can give you an exact blueprint, you just stay in the mind of like, well, I have to do this because she said it, not what feels good in my body. And when we think, I'll copy and paste this, we're still in the yang energy, thinking and doing, thinking and doing. She's given me this, so I'll think and do. So to get you back into feeling and being, I would say have an embodied presence practice, which is just getting out your yoga mat or just getting on the ground and just playing music and feeling into your body. Oh, like just let your body start moving. And at first it will be really, really weird and it won't feel comfortable. And then all of a sudden you'll go, oh, wow, like my neck's actually really tight. Maybe I'll just stretch it a bit and I'll just breathe into that. Oh, my back's really tight. And do this consistently, even if it's just one song every day, just to get onto the mat and just feel. Because when you feel, they say feel to heal. And obviously the healing can be a process as well. And we always think we've got to keep fixing everything. You're not broken, but it's more every day we're keeping our psyche clean, we're keeping our body clean so we can bring in, because all the journey is allowing what's always been ours. And we think that it's outside of us and it's not ours, but how do we allow in more of what we want? Well, we don't want our energy to be thinking and doing because then we're pushing the energy out. When we're feeling and being, we're drawing, we're magnetizing it all back. And the women that are the most magnetic, these sensual goddesses that just walk through a room and light everything up, it's because they're so deeply embodied in feeling and feeling and being. And the more that we can just love ourselves, like the meditation, waking up in the morning, like checking in with your body, the most sacred vessel that you have, the temple. When you do listen to your body every day, you start to build wealth that not many people in this world have, because everybody is in the rat race of I've got to do to get an outcome. And I know there's so many layers to this, and a lot of people go, oh, but I have to do. We're just deciding. Like right now, I decided to be a guest on this podcast. We decide, and then it happens. And it's not, if it was really, 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 really stressful and over the top and it felt really out of alignment, we wouldn't have met, because it's just not the vibe. And it's like just enjoying it, loving it, setting an intention, and enjoying every facet of the journey.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And I love that you're saying that it's not a cookie cutter mold. Like it is one of those things where you have to find your own way and feel into that for you. And I also love that you had said as well about movement, because I do think that's such a powerful thing that people aren't doing enough of. And it's one of the easiest ways to get back into your body. So, literally love that. Just before we start to wrap up, if there were three things that you could recommend to people to kind of get onto their journey of expanding their wealth consciousness, what are three things you would recommend? I know this, we've kind of answered this a little bit, but also we also want to leave enough space for people to answer it themselves. So,
Uh, so I have a book called You Are Wealth, and it's not a normal book. I'm an energy worker, so it's got a lot of the wealth codes in it as activations and transmission. So if you, I always say use discernment, tune into your heart, tune into your soul. If that feels aligned, then I would recommend that book. Uh, Secondly, I would recommend making sure that you love yourself. Like it seems like a no-brainer, but you can't call a life beyond your wildest dreams if you're still judging your cellulite on your legs. You know, you're still judging the way that you are. You're walking away from conversations feeling bad because you said certain things. There really is this piece to loving yourself unconditionally and knowing that you're worthy. And when you love yourself, you have better boundaries, you have better standards. Money comes because you know that you're worthy of it and you're holding higher standards. So I would say self-love is so important and we often do it on surface level. It's like, oh yeah, I get my facials, I do this stuff, but it's like when you're looking in the mirror and your mind picks at you because you've got stretch marks, do you hold this energy of love, like unconditional love for yourself, and you love yourself beyond anything? Can you hold yourself when life gets hard and still love yourself and not make yourself wrong? I think that is a huge piece to wealth consciousness because it's about well-being. And if you don't love yourself, there's no foundation to hold everything because you'll always sabotage it. You'll always burn it to the ground. So that is really, 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 really important. And number three, have some fucking fun. Stop taking life so seriously. Like, just enjoy the journey. We didn't come here to be so serious. Like, it's like just play, dance, sing, be an idiot. Stop trying to get it right. Just enjoy it. You know, make a mess, be silly. Like, don't beat yourself up. The issue is people are like, oh my gosh, I slept with that person, or I drank this alcohol, or I did that. And in those moments, they make themselves wrong instead of just going, ah, felt like doing that at the time, and that's okay. I know that everyone here has high standards. They are old souls. So the guilt around doing things we've been conditioned to do that are wrong, it's like you're always learning. The arrow pulls you back to go forward. I can say some of the biggest things I've done in my life that society would deem mistakes were the catalysts to my success, to things working really, really, really beautifully. So yeah, that would be it.
oh, I love all of that. And there's so many more little tangents that I wanted to go on. I'm like, how do boundaries relate and all of the things. There's so many more things, but that's okay. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you? And especially if they want to download your book, which would be amazing.
Mm. The best place is it's my website, so evakaszycki.co. The book is just / you are wealth. Um, TikTok, if you like spiritually guided messages. Instagram, I've got a new account over there. So if you like more reels and creativity and just beautiful things. Facebook, come follow. I probably do most of my posting on Facebook. So I'd say that's probably a good if you like reading a lot and you like to get those insights. And YouTube and my Vibration of Wealth podcast. So yeah, everywhere, wherever you feel called. Actually, I've completely forgotten the main group for people to come and hang, which is the 888 Wealth Codes group
Yeah, I
on
love that.
Facebook.
Yeah, I love that. I love all of your Facebook content. I do follow you on Instagram as well, but all your Facebook content, I just like, channel message coming through now. Like, because you're always just so like on point. So everybody jump on. I'll obviously link all of the details below to everywhere so that you can find Eva. But this has been amazing. Like, I really do feel like I have so many more like things and I'd love to continue chatting, but time. So thank you so much for being here. This has been like an absolute pleasure.
Mm. Thank you so much for having me, Simone. It's been an honor.